a minute. And I'm not talking about I'm a little stressed. I'm talking about being mentally tired, emotionally overloaded, spiritually trying to hold it together. So let's get into it. We have to be honest. A lot of our anxiety isn't just internal, it's environmental. We've been living in a time where bad news is constant, violence is viral, trauma is replayed on a loop, and peace feels like a luxury. You wake up and scroll just to see police videos, just to see wars, racism, prices going up, jobs unstable, and people being fake happy online. Your nervous system never gets a break. So when people say, "Why are you so anxious?" You're like, "Have you seen the world today?" Anxiety right now isn't a character flaw, it is a response. Let's talk about overthinking in the social media era, because now you're not just overthinking about yourself, you're comparing it to everybody else's highlight reel. You see people in relationships, buying homes, traveling, winning, thriving. And meanwhile, you're trying to keep your mental together. So now the mind goes, am I behind? Why hasn't it happened to me yet? Did I miss my moment? Is there something wrong to me? And let me say this clearly. Social media will have you overthinking a life that's actually on time. Half of what you see is curated, filtered, and carefully edited. But anxiety doesn't know the difference between real and repeated images. So let's go here. Especially for us who were taught to be strong before we were taught to be soft. We learned how to survive early, how to read rooms, how not to be the problem, how to keep pushing. So now anxiety looks like always being on guard, always over-explaining yourself, always overperforming, and always overthinking every move. Because somewhere along the line, you learn you don't get much room for error. That pressure will mess up your mind. And being strong for too long will make your spirit tired. Now let's talk about faith. But for real, let's talk about faith. Because some of us were taught that if you're anxious, you must not trust God enough. That's not true. Faith doesn't mean you don't feel fear. Faith means you bring the fear to God instead of letting it eat you alive. David was anxious, Elijah was depressed, and Jesus himself felt overwhelmed. So if you're praying and still struggling, that doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Stop shaming yourself for feeling God's already understand. Overthinking in your own brain, trying to protect you, is your mind saying, let me stay alert. Let me run every scenario. Let me prepare for disappointment. Because once you've been hurt, embarrassed, blindsided, or disappointed, your mind says never again. But staying in protection 24/7 is exhausting. You can't heal in survival mode. What helped me wasn't pretending everything was okay. It was learning how to turn the noise down, limit what I consume, and protect my peace intentionally. That means logging off when it's too much, not arguing with everyone online, not explaining myself to people committed to misunderstanding me, and letting some stuff go unanswered. Every headline does not deserve your energy, and every opinion does not deserve your response. Peace is a boundary. So let me say something radical. Rest in resistance is resistance in a world that profits off your burnout, especially for us. Rest says, I'm not letting the system run me to the ground. I deserve to breathe. I'm not lazy. I'm healing. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to justify rest. God rested. You can too. When your mind starts spiraling, try this. Pause and ask, is this a true thought? Or is it fear mixed with exhaustion? Am I responding to reality or am I responding to trauma? Then ground yourself. Put your feet on the floor. Take a breath. Remind yourself, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm okay right now. Not forever, not everything, but just right now. If you've been feeling behind, forgotten, overwhelmed, or emotionally tapped out, hear me. You're not crazy, you're not weak. You're responding to a heavy world with a sensitive heart. And that sensitivity, that's not a flaw, that is a gift. So in closing, I want to say if this episode spoke to you, that's because it was meant to. Send it to somebody who's smiling on the outside but fighting battles in their head. And remember, you don't have to carry the weight of the world to be worthy. Until next time, protect your peace. Tell your mind to sit down sometimes and stay unapologetically you.